Hey there guys, yeah, going to be doing a different type of video today. Now I've noticed that a lot of people in the YTBC, the guys that I follow, the guys that I watch, quite a lot of them make videos on MMA, a lot of them follow the UFC, and they make videos, post-fight reviews, prediction videos, but to be honest, I haven't seen a single person, and I don't think there's really anyone on YouTube who really covers the sport of kickboxing in great detail. And I've been following the sport for years. I've been following kickboxing for a long time. So I thought I'd do a prediction video for a fight that I'm really interested in, coming up soon, at Glory 94 between Bahram Rajabzadeh and Stefan Latescu. And if you've ever seen these guys fight, this fight can only be, an all-out war. Both of these guys are very aggressive. These guys don't really tend to take a backward step in their fights. And obviously this is going to be the main event of the night, and yeah, this fight should be fireworks. I can't really see it being anything else. So yeah, let's talk about this fight. So, in my opinion, obviously these guys, their last fight, they got stopped in one round by Bahram got stopped in one round by Abena. And Latescu got stopped in 3 rounds by Abena. That was in the light heavyweight Grand Prix. And obviously Bahram, he got stopped. He just walked onto a shot. He leapt in with like a big shot, and I believe it was a flying knee. And Abena was just able to catch him with a counter left hook, and he dropped him heavily. And I don't really think there's much you can read into that, because Bahram is someone who, his fighting style in the first round, it tends to be either you get him or he gets you. You look at his fights against Mazlaboyev. In the first fight, Mazlaboyev was able to drop Bahram with like a flying knee. And in the second fight, obviously, that happened in the light heavyweight Grand Prix. Bahram was able to do some damage to Mazlaboyev. So, I don't really think it's much of a surprise that he was stopped in one round. Because as I've said, I think he's one of these, the way he comes out in the first round, how explosive he is, how he's leaping into shots. He's always liable to be countered, but obviously, as we saw against El Booney, he's always liable to catch you with a big shot. So I don't really think there's much you can read into that. Stefan Latescu, I think his loss was a bit more comprehensive. Obviously, Abena is someone who's very good technically. He's got a nice high guard. He's very skilled. He's very well schooled. Very good leg kicker. He was really piecing up Latescu's leg, especially the calf. And Latescu couldn't really penetrate Abena's high guard. Latescu's someone who, really comes forward, really loads up on those hooks, really winds up. And Abena was just keeping that nice high guard. He's blocking all the shots. And he's just chopping down Latescu's leg, doing real damage, and he just sort of systematically broke him down. I thought Latescu, I didn't really think he was able to show like a different dimension to his game. His style wasn't really working. In the first round he was getting pieced up, his leg was getting pieced up, and he didn't really try to change his tactics. He didn't really adapt. He just kept trying to do the same thing over and over again. He sort of fought like someone who had a puncher's chance, as opposed to someone who, had a game plan to come in and win. And I thought he might have shown himself to be a bit one-dimensional. He's got one style, and if that doesn't work, then he's going to lose, and lose badly. And I thought it was quite a comprehensive defeat. Obviously, he got stopped on leg kicks. And it's quite a punishing loss. And I think you can definitely read into that a lot more than Bahram's loss. And to me, Rajabzadeh is someone who has shown, multiple dimensions to his game. He's someone who can, go all out attack on that front foot, leap into flying knees, really leap in with punches. Just be really explosive in the first round, come out, try and knock his opponent out. And he can apply educated pressure. After the first round where he's really tried to come out really explosive, In the next 2 rounds, he tends to be a bit more measured. He's sort of emptied the tank a bit in the first round, and then he has to sort of pace himself a lot more. And one thing that Rajabzadeh can do that he doesn't really get credit for that I've seen, this guy's a great technician. He can really box behind his jab from the outside. When he wants to be patient and just box from range, he can do that. He was someone who was a very good amateur. I believe he won the WAKO. I think he was the World Championships as an amateur. And yeah, he's someone who, in certain fights that I've seen, he's shown a very high IQ. He can really box behind the jab when he needs to. He's not just someone who is all out attack. He's not someone who can only do one thing. He's very one-dimensional. No, he can do a lot of things in the ring. And a lot of these guys have similarities. Both Rajabzadeh and Latescu, they can both punch. They're both quite explosive. They're both quite fast. I say they're probably quite a similar size. I don't really think one guy's really gonna weigh in a lot heavier than the other. I think they're quite a similar, like, physical size, physical build. But to me, I think Rajabzadeh has shown a lot more wrinkles to his game. I think he's got a lot more that he can do in the ring. As I've said, I thought Latescu showed himself to be a bit one-dimensional against Abena. His tactics weren't working and he didn't change it up. I think if Rajabzadeh would have survived the first round against Abena, I think he would have adapted. I think he would have changed his tactics a bit, and I think he would have had a bit more success, than Latescu had. And I think this fight's going to be very good while it lasts. I think both guys are probably going to get hurt in this fight at some point. I think both guys are going to have to endure like a struggle. I think both are going to be hurt quite badly at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if both guys got dropped. I think Latescu's best chance of winning is to try and catch Bahram, in the first round. When Rajabzadeh really leaps in with like a flying knee or like a big right hand. I think Latescu's best chance is to, take a step back and try and catch him with like a counter left hook, like Abena did. I don't see Latescu being able to fight Bahram just punch for punch. I think Rajabzadeh is a bit more explosive. I think his punches are a bit straighter. I think he's more of a sharpshooter. I think his punches are a bit more compact. I think he'll get to the target first. I think he'll probably win an exchange, to be honest. I think Latescu should look to be, a bit more measured than he has been in his career so far. I think he can have success if he tries to counter Bahram, when he's really leaping in. And if he does that, I think he can have a lot of success. I think he can draw him onto like a big shot. I think he can, hurt him. But to me, I think Latescu's probably going to come out and try and match, punch for punch. I think he's going to try and make it a slugging match. And I think that favours Rajabzadeh. Just because his punches are compact and he's a bit more explosive. Probably hits a bit harder as well. And in my opinion, I think in the first round, I think Rajabzadeh will probably dominate that round. I wouldn't be surprised if Latescu was like caught him with a big shot, but I think Rajabzadeh almost always wins the first round. Just based on really going at his opponent, really trying to damage him. And I think Rajabzadeh will either win by stoppage in probably the second or the third round. I just don't really see Latescu being able to deal with Rajabzadeh's aggression and his explosive power. I think Latescu's a bit easier to hit than Rajabzadeh. When they just obviously Rajabzadeh can get tagged when he's jumping in, but if he's just keeping it measured, playing educated pressure. I think he's a bit harder to hit than Latescu. And Latescu's been dropped by El Bouni. And Rajabzadeh has been dropped in his career so far, as well. So I think I can see this going either way. I think both guys could get knocked out in this fight, but I probably would favour Rajabzadeh by like a second or third round knockout, just because I think he's bringing a bit more to the table. I think his punches are a bit shorter and more compact. I think he's a bit more explosive. I think he hits harder. I think he's got more to his game. And, you know, I just think he'll really come out in that first round and probably damage Latescu a bit. And I'm not sure if Latescu can really recover from that. You know, I would definitely favour Rajabzadeh, but I do give Latescu a chance. I think he could catch him with a big shot. I wouldn't be surprised if he knocked him out as well. You know, this fight's really competitive. But yeah, I'd probably favour Rajabzadeh to win it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. And yeah, let me know if I should do more kickboxing videos. I'll see how this one does and whether people want to see more. So yeah, thanks for watching and God bless.